Tonight we have the new moon in Capricorn. All right, so I have a curated message for you guys. Well, kind of curated. I took down some notes, but really I want to. Oh, and I did pull some cards too. I pulled some cards to see what would come out for the collective. And I thought I'd keep them because I thought it was really interesting that the Fool came out twice. And I didn't even know I had a duplicate Major Arcana in this deck. I'm using the tarot disassembled, or the disassembled tarot. Yeah, tarot disassembled. And I thought this is the perfect deck to use at this time because of the energy that we've been in and the energy that I'm sure as a collective we've all been experiencing and feeling, going through this alchemical process of dissolution and shedding of the skin, shedding of the snake coming out of this year 9. So I thought I'd use this tarot disassemble. It's my one of two decks that I associate with Aquarius, although we're still in Capricorn season and we have this new moon in Capricorn. So we're going to talk a little bit about the energy, about the cards that came out. We're going to pull some cards later and then also pull from Moonology. When I was deciding which moon deck I was going to use, I pulled this out, and on the bottom of the deck was new moon in Capricorn. Shut up. So I said, okay, Lucy, we're going to use this one and we're going to read the new moon in Capricorn since it was at the bottom of the deck, which is totally synchronistic because I don't even remember the last time I used that deck. It's had to have been months, maybe even a year, who knows, since the beginning episodes. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Are y'all feeling the energy? Are you feeling the momentum building, the chariot gearing up, which is interesting too because the chariot did come out as our second card, which we'll get into. And again, the Fool came out. The Fool came out first and last. So the spread, of course, I pulled 6 cards because balance, and this whole theme is really heavy on balance. Um, Temperance came out and the Six of Pentacles. I actually put Temperance and the Six of Pentacles back. Well, I put Temperance back. Six of Pentacles was at the bottom of the deck. I put Temperance back because I feel like it always comes out. Like almost every single time I do a reading, I feel like Temperance comes out. So I'm like, eh, let's put it back. And so I shuffle and it came out again. So I'm like, okay, Spirit. Spirit's like, I said what I said. And underneath Temperance was Six of Pentacles. So both of those cards have a lot to do with balance. And so with the energy that we're working with, right, the whole spread and the theme of the message in general is heavy emphasis on balance. And so we're going to get into that. But getting into a little bit of the spread and these Fools that came out, 2 Fools. So the Fool is about new beginnings, fresh starts, and it's really like double confirmation, a double confirmation loop. um, I feel like in a way, with the energy, with the previous energy, it's been kind of like false starts. You know, the new year doesn't really start in January. It starts like April, you know what I mean? But so and then the year of the horse, we don't technically get out of the year. We're still in the year of the snake. We don't actually get out of the year of the snake until February. So, or the end of February, I think. So we're actually still, gradually coming out of this stagnant energy, and but feeling the momentum, feeling the energy and the momentum of wanting to move forward, but um, maybe not fully integrating or embodying, some of the lessons or what's going on? Oh my God. Still paranoid. um, Maybe not fully embodying or integrating the energy learned from the previous year, the year that we've come out of, which was a very difficult year. um, so a lot of the themes too I've noticed in the cards is um, the collective, this energy with the collective of wanting to move forward before embodying some of this energy and lessons learned because of the energy, feeling uncomfortable, feeling the discomfort of sitting in some of these more challenging energies. And so hence the false starts, feeling of false starts, because wanting to move past, maybe some people have ended relationships and want to go into new relationships, or thinking they're ready to go into new relationships, but haven't fully integrated or embodied the lessons learned from the previous mistakes or relationship faux pas, whatever the collective may have gone through or let go of, or had to change. And it's not just with relationships either. People's jobs have changed, careers have changed, just change all around. And often people mistake their identity with, these things, what they do, their jobs, um, their relationships and attachments, these external forces, external to themselves. You often identify, we often identify ourselves with these external factors. So going through a process of dissolution and really um, tower tower moments. I have the tower reversed here, but the tower did come out too. These tower moments where you have all of these endings, but forced endings, unexpected endings, where you know it really, maybe even really out of your control and truly unexpected, because that's what the tower is. It's unexpected change, upheaval, and not expecting it. So this process of dissolution, it's where everything crumbles and needs to fall apart in order for something new and stable and grounded to begin, something real. Because anything that wasn't based on something sustainable and real, um, rooted in something, uh, think, think, what? What energy would support that? Maybe something in the fours. Maybe the emperor. The emperor is a stable, grounded, the king of pentacles type energy. Something grounded and stable. And you know, this new moon in Capricorn, that invites just that. Um, taking the leap, taking the leap of faith in order to finally build something grounded and rooted, and something you can be disciplined with and consciously choose to work toward to build. This false start energy, it was like, I'll give an example of myself. I thought, I'm lonely, I want to go out, I want to do stuff, I want to meet people. In theory, that sounds great. And, I did meet people, or a person, but I quickly realized, though, I'm not emotionally available for this. Like, first off, you realize where other people are trying to bypass, um, or try to attach, or reach for something external to them for comfort, to feel good, because they've come out of something where they haven't fully integrated the grief, the the discomfort, the change, or something emotionally unfulfilling, you know, and recognizing that in somebody else, um, looking to attach to get what they're missing from somebody. It made me realize, whoa, uh, I'm already emotionally depleted from, I barely have the emotional bandwidth for my own emotions. So it made me realize pretty quickly on, first off, what am I doing? Um, I have my own, but it was like a mirror being held up to me. This is giving a personal example. This may not resonate with everybody, but I feel like this has been the energy of the collective. It's been certainly coming out in the cards, certainly coming out in other videos that I've seen in with other readers. So having experienced this myself and seen it in others, trying to find fulfillment externally to yourself without sitting with the necessary emotions to process and heal from. So, false start. But with these double fools, it's like confirmation of now's the time. Now's the time. Take the leap with the fool. Take the leap and really consciously decide what it is you want to build and grow and work toward and put your energy and strength toward. And here with the Chariot, which is the card that came out second. I can't tell if you could see that or not. These are really bright cards. I love this deck. It tarot disassembled. They have like these. Where's the whole deck? Oh, here it is. It has these yellow edges, which I love. Um, anyway, the Chariot came out though second, and the Chariot is all about, reining in opposing forces. It's that willpower, and directing that will in a balanced, deliberate way with momentum, with forward momentum. So it's the energy is really supporting that, especially with the new moon, with it being in Capricorn. Capricorn is about discipline and working towards something, working toward what it is that you want to create and achieve and see and build. It's like taking that Ace of Pentacles and planting it in order to create the Ten of Pentacles, which is that long-term stability and legacy, what you're known for, what you're growing, what you want to leave behind, what something real and tangible and stable. And then the Tower in reverse is like two things to me. It's like um it could be read two ways really. One is the Tower's already happened. We're already past that we're just coming out of the Tower. So with it being in reversed, it's like the rubble. It's like coming out of the rubble, and the Six of Wands is what's left. That's this what's the seeds. It's like this. Imagine a forest fire. Imagine a forest fire and the forest being burned down to a crisp, and then in order for that fallow ground to be repollinated and fertile, and with the Six of Wands, it's like recognition and success and um, feeling confident and what you're building, and having faith in it that it'll come to fruition and be something worthy of celebration, something worthy of success and celebration. So, and then with that celebration, the Three of Cups came out after the Six of Wands. So the Three of Cups is about celebration and community and reintegrating too, because we've come out of this dark night of the soul, this dark period, this dark time. And, it's a solitary thing. It could have felt really lonely. And even though you're never truly alone, but it could have felt that way, especially to people who aren't able to sit with themselves in the discomfort. Um, my friend who I, one of my friends who I met, that's admittedly, he was like, I can't sit with myself. I can't. I just have to be on the move and doing something. And when I sit with myself, I'm quoting here. When I'm by myself, I make bad choices. My brain makes bad choices, or something like that. Maybe that wasn't the quote, but the quote was there was a discomfort in sitting with themselves and didn't feel comfortable doing that and made bad choices doing that. And that to me is a red flag because You know, if you can't sit with yours, if you can't be in your own company, you're constantly seeking something external from yourself to make you feel some kind of way. And to me, that screams energy vampire. And I need my energy. I completely need my energy. And so that was a mirror to me to recognize and realize pull your energy back and really focus on integrating and creating. And so, and that was a good time. It's a good time for me. I did that. It felt good to do that, create. And I did 7 paintings in like 3 or 4 days, which is the most I've done in like the last year. So, really consciously choosing what you want to spend your time and energy um, toward, because not everything or everyone is worthy of your energy. So, and your energy is your currency, honestly. Your frequency and your energy is the new currency. So remember that. Where attention where attention flows, energy goes. And you know, time and energy is money. So, and not just money, it's anything worthy that you want to create or see in your life. We're consciously creating our reality. So, what do you want to consciously put your attention toward in order to build the life that you want? If you're putting your time and energy into things that aren't going to be fulfilling, emotionally fulfilling for your soul, for you, then it's not worth it, at least in my opinion. And I think Source Spirit would agree. So, uh, Three of Cups, that's reintegrating and celebrating and calling in your community and the people you want to be around. Um, what else? Three of Cups is shared joy, collaborations, and the communities that you choose to be a part. Again, your soul family, your soul tribe, even if that's, you know, like what I'm doing on YouTube and creating an online community, even if I have an audience of two, who cares? It's if you build it, they will come. And really, it's not. I'm not attached to the outcome, so it's like do what you're told. I listen to my guidance. I'm doing what I'm told. What happens will happen. All right, so and then with the Fool coming out, look at these two Fools. This deck has two Fools, and it's the only I've had this deck for ages. I had no idea it had two Fools, and it's the only major arcana that's duplicated. So if anyone has this deck, I haven't seen any other reader use this deck, which is strange to me because I have so many decks that so many other readers use, but I've never seen this one used by any other reader. So if you see this message and you have this deck, please put in the comments if you've noticed a second Fool, because I don't know if it's a type, like a flaw, a glitch in the matrix, or a typo. Is it an accident or is it deliberate? I may have to ask the Google or something. I don't know if that was deliberate or not, but I want to know. So please tell me if you have it and you've noticed that. So anyway, the Fool coming out twice, sandwiched at the end here, is like a double confirmation of a new beginning, a fresh start. Take the leap, have faith, and know that whatever you build now, whatever seeds you plant now, are the seeds that are going to be for the whole year to come. And really, I say the whole year to come, but not to scare or fearmonger, because it's not that. But we are in a year one, so we're starting a whole 9 year cycle over. We're in the beginning of a whole new year, 9 year cycle. So keep that in mind too when you're planting your Ace of Pentacle in order to create the Ten of Pentacles, which is your long-term stability and success. and the energy of this new Capricorn new moon supports that entirely. And there's other energy, planetary aspects at play here too that support this energy, but I didn't really curate a message for any of the other planets right now. But you have this new moon energy from tonight and tomorrow. So um, use these 2 days to really set your intentions and um, maybe do some journaling or some moon rituals. Write down your intentions, burn it, put it in, let it flow in water, burn it, bury the ashes in some soil, a plant. That's what I do sometimes. Um, and see what comes to fruition. But the whole point is consciously creating, consciously choosing. And then with where is it? And then with temperance, that is the integrator. Temperance is integration. It's that divine integration in balance and the tempering of that alchemy of fire and water, which is interesting because this whole year is going to be a year. We're coming out of a time of water in earth, which is so another reader called it. They're like, yeah, when you mix water and earth, you get mud. So it's been kind of a coming out of a kind of a muddy, mucky energy that's now going to be alchemized and turned in. We're going to be in a fire and air energy this year. So it's going to be very fast paced, fast moving, a lot of momentum. Um, and a lot of, air is creativity, ideas, communication. So you're going to see a lot of, and then fire is, passion and drive and creation and momentum. And it's also spiritual, it's very purifying. So you're going to see a lot of creatives coming out, new creatives, and um, a lot of people waking up to their spirituality because that whole dissolution of things dissolving, that peeling away the layers of all the things that aren't you, your true essence, your true self, um, which is divinity cloaked in, you know, this vessel, this skin. It's we're light bodies and we're so much more than that's another thing too, what I noticed with this so-called dating thing, which I wouldn't really call it that because I was never really emotionally available to. I had to ignore it as soon as I tried it. But it's just too much. But um one thing I noticed too is it's like people want to give you their whole resume, like their whole resume. And it's like, I don't give a damn what you do. Do you have integrity? Are you honest? Do you have emotional maturity? Do you have financial stability? you know, and that's just part, it's like, can you have a honest, decent, are you a decent person? Do you know how to treat people? Are you an energy vampire? Are you healed? I don't give a damn what your resume is and how many achievements or degrees you have or how smart you think you are. And a lot of them claim to be so smart, and it's like you have the conversation, it's like, you're really that dull? You don't even know that. Anyway, I'm not I'm not trying to put anybody down. We all are where we are, but to me, there's more to you and your character than your job or what you went to school for or the things that you know. It's like, what is your character? What is your true self? What are your values? What do your in your values, there's inherent values that when you strip away all of the things that aren't you are naturally there, which is we closer to the frequency of love. So, again, pulling out that frequency scale, and you have creation and destruction, or destruction and creation on either end. There's levels of emotions and expressions that have a level of frequency that either have you closer to the scale of destruction or closer to the level of creation. And the closer you are to creation, the closer you are to your divinity. So, and everything else is shadow layers, shadow aspects associated with the devil in the tarot, which are attachments and external things that aren't you and weigh you down and make you heavy emotionally and in all ways, really, in all ways. It makes you heavy and weighed down. And people who I have built their whole identities off of these attachments and these things that aren't them and are trying to be stripped away by the universe, by the energies at play. Um, People who are holding on to these things and resisting, they're gonna find it really hard, really challenging, especially after this new moon, like what moving into February and March when the momentum really starts to pick up. um, you're really going to have a hard time um, moving forward and having a new genuine start. It's like avoiding inevitable towers, think judgment in reverse, um, death in reverse, um, and nothing sustainable will stick. it this energy entirely calls for authenticity and something real and grounded. So you may as well um, consciously decide what it is that your soul is asking for, what is calling you to do and create and move in that direction. um, Otherwise it's going to continue to crumble and it's going to feel really uncomfortable. It's going to continue to be a really uncomfortable energy to sit in, or to uh, you can't, it's unavoidable. I mean, you could try to avoid it all you want, like Seven of Swords energy, Seven of Cups energy. Seven of Cups has been coming out a lot too for certain people, for certain um, collectives, or certain videos that I've seen in the collective. I've been seeing the Seven of Cups come out a lot, which usually has to do about options and illusions. But depending on the spread, like it could be like self-created, self-created illusions, like deliberately choosing to like cherry pick emotions to sit with and feel, and it's bypassing instead of really taking the time and the advantage to integrate these lessons and these energies and emotions, even if they're uncomfortable and you feel like they're destabilizing. They're really asking to be destabilized in order to build something real. Okay, so what else do we have? We've gotten through our spread and we're 28 minutes in. I'm going to, oh, and then Six of Pentacles was at the bottom of that. And Six of Pentacles, of course, I'm getting messages. Six of Pentacles, of course, is, well, actually, I've heard a couple things, but it's usually associated with balance and reciprocity, equal give and take. You see the scales there, and then the pentacles. It's um, it's usually associated with balance, but um, this card's a little bit different than, well, a lot different than the traditional Rider-Waite depiction. And in the traditional Rider-Waite depiction, you have two people kneel down and a man giving giving them foods. So some people interpret it to be as imbalance, like breadcrumbing, breadcrumbing, and also an imbalance because You have two people kneeling, depending on a handout from someone or something. So it really just depends on what deck you're using, I guess, and the reader and um, the spread or the question. So I'm going to put these back in the deck, and then I'm going to ask, um, what is the most aligned next step? What is the most aligned next step for the collective during this new moon? That's the question. That's the question. What is the most aligned next step under this new moon for the collective? One more shuffle. I haven't used this deck in ages, I tell ya. All right. What is the most aligned next step under this new moon for the collective? Four Swords. Four Swords and the Two of Cups. Aww. Four Swords, Two of Cups, and the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Knight of Wands in this scenario, though, we'll get into it. But Four of Swords, which is the minor arcana of the Hermit. It's a card of healing, rest, integration. This is exactly what we were talking about. It's integrating and really embodying these lessons learned and spiritual gifts gained from it. Your superpowers really do lie in the shadows. So, really healing the inner child and going into the shadow and recognizing what it is that you do need to heal, it ultimately ends up being your superpower. So, this is integration and healing and rest. You know, we've come out a pretty trying year. It's been I don't know, I feel like the Nine of Wands. I feel like the wounded warrior, okay? But the Two of Cups is emotional renewal and connection and soul bonds and love. See that yin and yang there? That's like, you know, the masculine and the feminine energies coming together in a balanced way, a balanced, loving way, united. And then the Knight of Wands, normally I can't stand the Knight of Wands. But in this scenario, especially moving into the Fire Horse, this is the Fire Horse. So this is momentum and creative drive, spark, passion, inspiration, momentum. All right. So that's the next step's most aligned is to heal and integrate. Open to love, open your heart. You know, there's been a whole lot of thinking going on, a whole lot of Nine of Swords and Eight of Swords going on. Can we get some cups, please? Which is heart, which is, you know, heart centered. It's like drop into your heart and really follow your heart. Follow what lights you up, what makes you happy, and feed that. Breathe fire into it, you know. Again, air is going to be about ideas and mental clarity and downloads and just really innovative things and collaborations. Breathe fire into that and really fan the flames. I want to say. What was under there? Eight of Cups, emotion, walking away from or walking, getting out of or walking away from whatever doesn't fulfill you emotionally. Cups again is emotional. Eight of Cups is moving away from something. So move away from things that aren't emotionally fulfilling. And then you have the Lovers. The Lovers is conscious choices and unions too. Divine unions, also masculine and feminine energies united. And but it is the Lovers is decisions and choices and making a conscious choice. And that's what this energy is asking of you is to consciously choose what you want to feed and grow. This is the time to consciously create your reality. All right. I'm going to pull from Moonology. Actually, I'm going to read, since I may see what else comes out, but I'm going to read to you the new moon in Capricorn, since this was at the bottom of the deck. I ain't used this deck in a gazillion years. We'll see what else comes out though. Maybe one more. I don't know. I don't remember how long. I don't remember how long the descriptions are in these. So, thank you, Spirit. What guidance can we leave the collective with this evening? All right, that flipped over. First quarter moon in Cancer. Push through any insecurity. Yeah, this energy, it's really asking for authenticity. You know, really, really accepting yourself. That's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say something else. It's clarity, clarity, self-acceptance. You know, yeah, there's so much with that. Let me read this before we go an hour into the video. I can go on and on about that. I don't want to. All right, how are these? Are these alphabetical order? There's new moon, of course. Okay, so they go by new moon. Okay, here we go. New moon in Capricorn. Step up and lead. Ooh. Okay. The good news is that you know what you want, and on some level, you know how to get it. Step up and know what you're the boss, and know that you're the boss. Yeah, you're the boss of your own life. A new, more disciplined approach is needed, or a new plan, strategy is called for. This card reminds you that ambition isn't a dirty word. Whatever you want to create in your life. Oh, yeah, I thought I read that wrong. I read it right. There's no such thing as too big a goal, but break your plans into smaller, achievable pieces. Slow and steady wins the race. Release any blocks to success. Manifesting focus. This card, let me put it up so you can see it. This card is an especially good sign for matters related to your professional life, life goals and ambitions, or a work colleague. Manifesting mindset. Think about where you want to be in a year. Consciously visualize it. Write a 12-month plan detailing how you're going to get there. Manifesting tips for releasing blocks. Call in Archangel Michael, the protector, and Archangel Azrael, which is the angel for temperance, I believe. People say Gabriel, but I've also heard it's Azrael. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Azrael, who helps us to process grief. Call in the strong energies of Saturn, which guides the sign of Capricorn. Breathe gently. Ask Archangel Azrael for help with releasing grief or past upset that's standing in the way of your success. Ask Michael to guide you. Ask Saturn for strength. Your manifestation affirmation: the harder I work, the luckier I get. I like that. We create our own luck, y'all. When to manifest your magic. The best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Capricorn on a Saturday, Saturn's day, or during Saturn's hour. See page 16. We're not going to do that. Sorry. The new moon in Capricorn takes place when the sun and the moon are on the same degree in Capricorn. It knows that often we come with a plan or leave in defeat. So, which direction are you going to go? Are you going to come with a plan, or are you going to leave with defeat? Are you going to be defeated? All right. We'll read the first quarter moon in Cancer, which I'm not sure when that is. That would be interesting to know, though, if it's coming up. first quarter. All right, so here we go, here it is. It's organized by moon phases, which makes sense. Push through any insecurity. Any insecurity. Drawing this card suggests you may be allowing self-doubt to derail you. Chances are, excuse me, chances are that you started off strong, fast out of the gate, and full of bravado. But now you're allowing fears and doubts to cloud your vision. Family issues coming up. Family issues coming up now need dealing with. Maybe you think you're not good enough or you're waiting for something to go wrong. This isn't the way to get what you want in life. Instead, be kind to yourself and others. Work on your insecurities and head towards your goals. Manifesting mix. The energy of this card says, I am and I can, but it needs to believe itself. Slow down and allow time for self-belief to grow. And that's the importance of that Four of Swords energy, that energy needing to integrate and embody, because you can tell yourself affirmations and tell yourself whatever you want. But until that's embodied and mentally understood, it doesn't make any difference. It's not true. You can't fake, you can't spiritually bypass, and you can't fake frequency. And the only way to get that level up, think of it as a video game. In order to get that nugget, you gotta win it. You gotta go through it. You have to earn it. You can't just spiritually bypass it. So really understand it and integrate it. Manifesting mindset. Knowing that you're scared or racked with doubts is better than not realizing it. Nurture yourself and believe that you're worthy of your goals. Tune into your manifesting powers. The third eye chakra, ajna, is located just above the midpoint between your eyebrows, and it radiates a gorgeous indigo color. It can help you to attain the clear vision that you're all connected to all life everywhere, and that fear is an illusion. Imagine yourself in a column of indigo or silvery light and hold this card to your third eye while saying, energies of the first quarter moon in Cancer, thank you for helping me see that my loved ones and I can achieve anything. To manifest your magic, the best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Cancer on a Monday, the moon's day, or during the moon's hour. See page 16. We will not. The first quarter moon in Cancer takes place when the sun is in Aries, and the moon is in Cancer. It knows that you don't have to shout to be powerful. I like it. Fear is an illusion. It's okay to be scared. Recognize your fear, look it straight in the eye, and work through it. I know it's easier said than done, but I guarantee you it dissolves the moment you move. The moment you move, the longer you allow yourself, you overthink it and allow yourself to just stay stuck in analysis paralysis, or it's nothing moves. The energy, the momentum is gone. It's like you may as well not do it at all, or it doesn't get done at all. The spark moves. Ideas are meant to be acted on. Emotions are meant to be moved through. So, allowing fear to keep you in a state of analysis paralysis is really torture to yourself. It's that Nine of Swords energy and Eight of Swords energy too, where it's like a mental prison, and it's not comfortable. To me, that energy, that Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords energy is more uncomfortable than actually moving through the fear, which dissipates the moment you start to move through it. You know what I mean? So, and the payout and the results are much better at that. Not only do you grow as a person, but you also get what it is that you want because you're not allowing fear to keep you from it. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you. I hope this message resonated. If it did, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, or mention how it did resonate in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. That's pretty much it. Keep on rising, y'all. It's still going.